Hello everyone, this is Pawan Inania, Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication, Government Women Engineering College, Ajmer. Today our topic is Z transform. In this lecture, we will see that how can we calculate the Z transform of different type of time domain signals. In this signal, at n equal to 0, the amplitude level is 2, at n equal to 1, amplitude level is 2, and at n equal to 2, the amplitude level is -1. Okay, so we can represent this signal like this: x1n is equal to -1, 1, 2. This is the amplitude level of this particular signal, and arrow shows that this value is present at n equal to 0. This value is present at n equal to -1, and this is n equal to -2, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, and n equal to 3. So signal varies from -2 to 3 at time axis. So we can calculate the Z transform of this signal. X1z is equal to, we know about the formula of Z transform, x1n z to the power -n. So x1n is given to you, and the value of n is from -2 to 3. So we can put all the values of x1n in this formula like this: x1z is equal to -1, this is -1, 8, time axis n equal to -2, the value is -1, and z to the power 2, means you can put the value of n at the power of z. So -1 multiplied by z square, -2 z to the power +2, and 1 multiplied by z, z power 1, 2 multiplied by z power 0, 2 multiplied by z power -1, z power -2, up to z power -3. So we can calculate this expression like this: here minus z square plus z plus 2 plus 2 by z plus, this is -1 by z square, you can see this is -1, plus 2 upon z cube, this is z cube. Okay, so for z equal to 0, if we put z equal to 0 here in this expression, then at z equal to 0, this value will be infinite, this value also will be infinite, and this particular value is infinite. So complete value of this x of z is infinite at z equal to 0. So at particular values where x of z becomes infinite, that particular value is called the pole. So z equal to 0 is the pole, and at z x of z equal to infinite, how can we get infinite in this expression? If we put z equal to infinite in this expression, then we will have x z equal to infinite, because if we put z equal to infinite here, z equal to infinite here, then this complete value of this x of z will be infinite. So there are two poles. First is at z equal to 0, second is at z equal to infinite. So there are two poles. So ROC will be all the z plane except z equal to 0 and z equal to infinite, because ROC does not include any pole. In this second question, x2n is given to you. The representation of the signal is like this. The signal varies from 0 to 3. There is no arrow in this x2n, means the first value is present at n equal to 0. So this one amplitude is at n equal to 0, this one is at n equal to 1, n equal to 2, and n equal to 3. So we can calculate the z transform of this x2n like this: x2z equal to 0 to 3, x2n multiplied by z to the power -n. You can put the values of n at the power of z, so we will have x2z. Okay, finally 1 plus z inverse plus 2z square minus 1z power -3. Okay, so we can solve this x2z like this: 1 plus 1 upon z plus 2 upon z square minus 1 upon z cube. After this, if we put z equal to 0 in this x2z, then we will have infinite value. Okay, because 1 upon 0, 2 upon 0, and 1 upon 0. So any finite value upon 0 will become infinite. So this x2z will be infinite at z equal to 0. So we have the pole at z equal to 0. So x of z will be infinite. And when z equal to infinite, x of z is 1. So there is no infinite value at z equal to infinite. So we will have only one pole at z equal to 0. So ROC of this question will be whole z plane except 0. So Z transform of two very important signals, basic signals, step function and impulse function. So what should be the Z transform of this impulse function? Del n. Del n can be represented as 1 for n equal to 0 because del n means impulse function exists only at n equal to 0, and this is 0 for n not equal to 0 at the time axis. So minus infinite to minus 1, the signal will be 0, and 1 to infinite, del n is also 0. So it can be represented only at n equal to 0. So x of z, this particular formula of z transform, we can put the value of del n in this formula. So it exists only at the n equal to 0 because it has one value at n equal to 0, otherwise it will be 0 for the another values. So finally 1 multiplied by z to the power 0 because we can put n equal to 0 here. So 1 multiplied by z to the power 0 equal to 1. So there is a fixed value of del of n is 1 for all z, hence the ROC will be the entire z plane. Second is unit step function. Step function means the value of this signal is 1 for 0 to infinite. Okay, so this is constant value 1 for 0 to infinite. We can see 1 for n greater than equal to 0 and 0 for n less than 0. This is the standard signal in the signal strength system. So we can see that x of z equal to 0 to infinite x of n z to the power minus n. Why this 0 to infinite? Because x of n is equal to un, and un is defined for 0 to infinite only. So 0 to infinite z inverse to the power n. You can solve this sum like this: 1 plus z inverse plus z to the power minus 2, z to the power minus 3, and so on. And this is the standard series in the mathematics, and we can solve this series by this particular formula that x of z equal to 1 upon 1 minus z inverse. Okay, and there is a condition that mod of z inverse must be less than 1. So mod of z is greater than 1 because this is 1 upon z, and finally we have the ROC that is equal to mod of z is greater than 1. We can draw the plot of ROC, that is the real axis. This is x-axis is the real axis and y is the imaginary axis. We can draw the ROC of this particular signal, that this unit circle is here and the pole is 8 plus 1. Okay, pole is 8 plus 1 and the ROC is outside of this particular one. Okay, so the ROC for u of n means the step function having the ROC greater than 1, and the ROC of impulse function is entire z plane. This is very important for the signals and systems. So here we can see many types of questions, that del n equal to 1, the z transform of impulse function is 1, the z transform of step function is 1 upon 1 minus z inverse, where ROC mod of z is greater than 1 because pole is at z equal to 1. We can further solve this particular value like this: z upon z minus 1. If we put z equal to 1, then the value of x of z will be infinite. So the pole is at 1 and 0 is at 0, because if we put 0 here, then this function will be 0. In this question, x of n equal to a to the power n u of n. We know what is the z transform of u of n: 1 upon 1 minus z inverse. A to the power n is multiplied by u of n, so we can calculate the z transform of this question like this: 1 upon 1 minus a z inverse. where Az inverse is less than 1. Okay, and the Z is greater than 1. This is the ROC for this signal. Mod of Z greater than A. Okay, A is the pole and the ROC is outside of this pole. Next question is x of n equal to minus a to the power n u of minus n minus 1. Minus n minus 1 means left sided signal, and for the left sided signals ROC will always be left sided. Left sided means mod of Z is less than particular pole. Where is the pole? Pole is at A, so ROC will be less than this A. Okay, and there is no difference in the Z transform for these two questions. Right sided signal is having this Z transform, and the left sided signal is also having the Z transform, same Z transform, but ROC will be changed. ROC will be changed. X of n equal to a to the power n un plus b to the power n u minus n minus 1 means this is right sided signal, this is left sided signal, and we can calculate the Z transform of this right sided signal like this 1 upon 1 minus Az inverse, and for left sided signals 1 upon 1 minus Bz inverse. But ROC for right sided signal will be right sided, and ROC for the left sided signal is less than this pole B. We can draw the ROC of these two different signals like this. This is pole A, this is pole B, and if A is less than B, then we can see that ROC is greater than A, this is greater than A, and less than B. So we can have the common reason for this particular question. But if A is greater than B, then ROC will be the right sided for this particular A and left sided for B. So there is no common reason for A greater than B. So we can't define the Z transform for A greater than B. We can have only Z transform for A less than B. In the next question, x of n is equal to del n minus k. Del n minus k mean there is a time delay property. Okay, this is the delayed signal by factor of k. Okay, del n is defined at particular 0, but if del n is shifted by k points, then it will be shifted in the right side. Okay, or if it was del n plus k, then del n will shift in the left side by k points. So Z transform of del of n is equal to, we know Z transform of del of n equal to 1, and ROC is entire Z plane. So n minus k is the shifted signal, will have Z transform Z to the power minus k multiplied by x of z. This x of z is the Z transform of x of n, and x of n is shifted by k points. So we can write the Z transform of the any shifted signal like this, Z to the power minus k x of z. This is shifting property of Z transform. Okay, so we can directly solve this shifted signal by this property. We don't need to solve the shifted signal by the conventional method. Directly put the property and solve the question. So del x of z, we know that Z transform of del of n equal to 1. So we can put x of z is 1 and multiply by z to the power minus k. So del n minus k is equal to z to the power minus k. And if it was del n plus k, then the Z transform of del n plus k must be z to the power plus k. Okay, if it is n minus k, then z to the power minus k, and if it is n plus k, then the Z transform of that particular function is z to the power plus k. So entire Z plane except 0, because you know that z to the power minus k mean 1 upon z to the power k, and if z equal to 0, then x of z will be infinite. So for the shifting property and shifted signal, the ROC is changed and the pole is at z equal to 0. So ROC does not include any pole, so ROC must be greater than greater than 0. So we can't say that the shifted signal is having the entire z plane, because pole is at z equal to 0. So ROC will be entire z plane except z equal to 0. Next question is xn del n plus k. We know for del n minus k, the z transform is z to the power minus k, and for z n plus k, z transform is z to the power k. And the pole is at infinite, because if you put z equal to infinite, then there will be a pole. So ROC will be entire z plane except z equal to infinite. So for n minus k means the time delayed signal, ROC is entire z plane except z equal to 0, and for advanced function, ROC is entire z plane except z equal to infinite. Next question is x of n equal to u of minus n minus 1. Minus n minus 1 means this signal starts from minus 1 to minus infinite. So x of z equal to minus 1 to minus infinite, and for minus 1 to minus infinite, un is 1, and z to the power minus n is the z transform of this 1. Z common, 1 plus z square plus z cube, and finally you can solve this series by this formula, z upon 1 minus z. Okay, and the condition is mod of z must be less than 1. Mod of z must be less than 1. Okay. In the next question, we are having the cosine function x of n equal to cos omega 0 n and u of n. U of n means right sided sequence. If it was u minus n minus 1, then it is a left sided signal, but here we have u of n, so it is a right sided signal. So cos omega 0 n may be represented like this: e to the power j omega 0 n plus e to the power minus j omega 0 n upon 2. So we can break this function in two parts: 1 by 2 e to the power j omega 0 n, 1 by 2 e to the power minus j omega 0 n. And we can calculate the z transform of these two parts, multiply by u of n, because u of n is associated with this cosine function. So multiply by u of n and multiply by u of n here. We know that e to the power un, what is the z transform of this function, is 1 upon 1 minus a z inverse, where mod of z is greater than a. A is the pole. So here a equal to e to the power j omega 0 n. This is a. You can see in this signal that e to the power j omega 0 n. You can compare these two equations. Okay, so e power j omega 0 n equal to a. So this is equal to cos omega 0 plus j sin omega 0. We know that this exponential function is equal to complex exponential function cos omega 0 plus j sin omega 0. So mod of this value is equal to 1. We know that mod of this value is equal to also 1. X of z equal to 1 by 2 and 1 upon 1 minus e power j omega 0 z inverse. Okay, we can compare this equation and this equation. Okay, plus 1 upon 1 minus e to the power minus j omega 0 z power minus 1 z inverse. So ROC is mod of z is greater than a. Okay. So 1 by 2, you can solve this equation, multiply this value by 1, multiply this value by 1, and multiplication of these two values here. Okay. So you can further solve these equations, and finally we are having x of z equal to 1 minus z inverse cos omega 0 upon 1 minus z inverse 2 cos omega 0 plus z to the power minus 2. Okay, so cosine function having the z transform like this. Next question is x of n equal to sin omega 0 and un. There was cos omega 0 n, now we are having sin omega 0 n. So you can solve sin omega 0 n. There is same method to solve this sin omega 0 n, which we have already discussed in the cos omega 0 n. There is a same procedure. So finally there is a z transform of this sin omega 0 and un like this. Next is there is a combination of two signals x of n equal to 2 to the power n un plus 3 power n u of n minus 1. Okay, so the transform of this particular part is 1 upon 1 minus 2z inverse. Second part is minus 1 upon 1 minus 3z inverse. There are two poles, first is at 2, second is at 3. Okay, and ROCs for the right sided signal is greater than 2 and ROC for the left sided signal is less than 3. Okay, there is a mistake, some mistake in this question. There must be minus and minus 1. There must be minus and minus 1. Okay, so ROC for this part is less than 3 and ROC for this part is greater than 2. Next question is x of n equal to 3 to the power n u of n minus u of n minus 4. So u of n is defined for 0 to infinite. This is a shifted signal u of n minus 4. This signal can be shifted 8.4. This signal is for 4 to infinite. This is for 0 to infinite. This is for 4 to infinite. And un minus 4. After the subtraction from this signal to un minus 4, there will be a final signal from 0 to 3. So finally we are having the range from 0 to 3 and 3 to the power n. This is 3 to the power n. Okay, and the value of this difference is 1 for 0 to 3. This is 0 to 3 and z to the power minus n, the z transform. So 3 is z inverse to the power n. Okay, and for any finite power there is a formula, that is n0 to any finite number a to the power n is equal to 1 minus a power capital N plus 1 upon 1 minus a. So we can compare this equation with this particular equation. 1 minus 3z inverse to the power 4 and capital N plus 4 is n plus 1 is 4 and upon 1 minus 3z inverse. So for convergence of this particular signal, the value of x of z must be less than infinite. Okay, value must be less than infinite and the ROC will be entire z plane except z equal to 0. It's a very important question. X of n equal to b to the power mod n and b greater than 0. We have seen this question for the continuous time signals in the Laplace transform, and here it is for the discrete time signals. So we can break b to the power mod n into two parts, b power mod n un, right sided signal, and the left sided signal, because mod of n includes minus infinite to infinite range. Okay, so for this right sided signal and this left sided signal, there are two cases. We know b is greater than 0, but b may be greater than 0 but less than 1, and b may be greater than 1. So there are two cases. One is less than 1, greater than 0, and second one is b greater than 1. Okay, so for first part, for this part, we can draw this particular signal. Okay, this is time axis, y axis is amplitude axis. After putting the value of n, we can have the decreasing exponential signal. This is the decreasing exponential signal. When n equal to 0, the value of b is less than 1, we can assume this value like 1 by 2. So when n equal to 0, so there will be 1 by 2 to the power 0, that is equal to 1. This is 1. When n equal to 1, then 1 by 2 to the power 1, that is equal to 1 by 2. When n equal to 2, that is 1 by 2 to the power 2, 1 by 2 to the power 3, 1 by 2 to the power 4, 5, 6, like this. Okay. When n equal to minus 1, we know that there is a mod n. So minus 1 will be assumed as plus 1. So 1 by 2 to the power plus 1. Next 1 by 2 to the power plus 2. Minus 2 will be assumed as plus 2. Okay. Minus 3 is equal to plus 3. So 1 by 2 to the power plus 3. Okay. So the same signal which is appearing in the right side, there will be same signal in the left side. Okay, decreasing exponential signal. In the second part, where b is greater than 1, we can assume the value of b equal to 2. Okay, so when there is 2 and 2 to the power mod n, after putting the value of n equal to 0, and 2 to the power 0 is 1. Here at n equal to 0, there is a 1. At n equal to 1, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4. And in the negative range, b to the power minus 1 means 2 to the power minus 1 will be assumed as plus 1. So 2 to the power plus 1, 2 power plus 2, 2 power plus 3. So it's a increasing exponential function in the both direction, positive direction and negative direction. So the Z transform of this first part x1n equal to 1 upon 1 minus bz inverse, okay, for right sided signal, and ROC will also right sided, mod of z greater than b. For x2n, this part, left sided part, the Z transform is 1 upon 1 minus b inverse z inverse, and the ROC is left sided, means mod of z is less than 1 upon b. We can solve this part as x2z equal to minus 1 to minus infinite, because the range is from minus 1 to minus infinite. So this is minus 1 to minus infinite, and in this particular range u minus n minus 1 will be 1, and the remaining term b to the power minus n can be multiplied with z to the power minus n. Okay, so b inverse z inverse power n. So we can solve this x2z like b to the power minus 1 z inverse power minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 and so on. Okay, so bz plus bz square bz power 3 plus so on. Now after solving this x of z, we have the final value bz upon 1 minus bz, where bz is less than 1 and z less than 1 upon b. 2, so ROC will be mod of z greater than 2 and mod of z less than 1 by 2. So it's the plot of ROC. This x-axis is real part and the y-axis is imaginary axis. So first pole is at 1 by 2, second pole is at 2, this is the pole, one is at 2 and one is at 1 by 2, and ROC is greater than 2 and less than 1 by 2. So there is no common reason. Okay, there is no common reason. So this signal does not converge for the value b greater than 1. Okay, and the second case is there, b is greater than 0 and b is less than 1. Then let's take the value of b equal to 1 by 2, which is less than 1 and greater than 0, and the ROC is mod of z is greater than 1 by 2 means b, and mod of z is less than 1 upon 1 by 2, which is mod of z is less than 2, and we can find the common reason for this particular case, which is b greater than 0 and less than 1. Okay, so this signal, the combination of two signals like x of n equal to b to the power mod n, is convergent for the condition which is b greater than 0 and less than 1. So we have discussed some very important questions of Z transform. You can calculate the Z transform of discrete time signals by the method we have discussed in this lecture, and you will find these type of questions in your university exam. There may be some variations in the variables, but the procedure will be same. So thank you so much. We will discuss the properties of Z transform in the next lecture. After then, we will discuss about the inverse Z transform and the stability and causality conditions of Z transform. So thank you.